And good early morning to you, YouTube. Dirk here, GC Blues 45. 5 games on the deck. That means we're going to have 3 stars on the night, which we will do last in this video because I also got playoff standings. That's right, I got playoff standings up to date. Now, yes, folks, there are some teams that are technically mathematically out of it, and they're when I should tell you that who's, I'll get to it when we do. But folks, 5 games on the dot tonight. Also 3 stars tonight. So let's do it now. This season's heating up. We're in the final games, folks. Anything can happen, and we're entering the final month. So, whew, boy. All right, so here we go. If you haven't come across this video, have a like and give me that thumbs up. It's very important. Helps get the channel going. And remember, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe tab and be notified every time I upload a new video by clicking that bell icon. And to the people who already subscribed me, tell your friends about me. Literally, tell your friends about me and tell them to subscribe to me. Okay, so here we go. We're starting off with the Penguins at the Islanders. This game was a very good matchup. Coming into this matchup, Pittsburgh was 36, 21, and 16 and 88 points. Islanders were 42, 27, 5 and 89 points, and at the end of 60 minutes, the Penguins beat the Islanders by a score of 8-3. 8-3. Shots on goal were the Pens 31, the Isles 23. The Pens had 20 saves. Sorry. The Penguins had 20 saves with the Islanders 23. Pittsburgh was 0 for 1 on the power play with the New York Islanders 2 for 3 on the power play. And Pittsburgh wins the series 2-0-1. That's right. 2 wins, no losses, 1 OTL. And he outscored the Islanders 16-11. Okay, what to think about this game? Well, after one, it was tied 0-0. And then I don't know what happened in between periods, to tell you the truth. But Pittsburgh went on a scoring spree. I mean, they, well, after 2 goals by the Islanders, then Pittsburgh gets one, and then Brandon Shin gets his 16th of the year. By the way, hey Brandon, Yo Shin, won't say hey to you. But literally, if any NHL players see this, and I sing you a shout out, just say hey, okay? By the way, Shin, we miss you here in St. Louis. Hopefully, we get you in the off season. And then the Penguins get a shorthanded goal, which was really needed. And then they get another goal to tie it. And basically, 4 unanswered goals in the second period in a row. So, way to go by Mantha got 2 goals tonight. And then pretty much Pittsburgh closed the door on it by scoring 3 more. Oh, what more can you get? Hold on, I'm checking something here. Crosby got 2 assists too. So, and pretty much they got the game winner in the second period. And they tied 3 more. the Islanders did not try to stop the Pens. They flat out quit trying after the fourth goal when the Islanders scored when Pittsburgh scored the fourth goal in the second period. They pretty much just said, "We give, we're not playing no more." And I don't know what words the coach said in the locker room, but it didn't get through to the team. So good game by the Penguins. They deserve to win. They are still in second place in the division. Islanders just couldn't do it. So not much you can say about that. Next was the Flames at the Avalanche. Entering this game, the Flames were 31, 34, and 8 and 70 points. The Avalanche 48, 14, and 10 and 106 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Avalanche beat the they pretty much extinguished the Flames 9-2. 9. 9, folks. I'm not kidding. 9-2. Shots on goal, Avs 49, Flames 29. Avalanche had 27 saves with the Flames 40. Colorado went 3 for 4 on the power play with Calgary 0 for 1 on the power play. What to say about this game? This was a total disappointment on the Flames. Basically, after the third goal, you could say we give. Um, it was 5-0 after one, and then the Flames got on the board in the second period, but Colorado got that goal back. And then the Flames score again in the third, but that was before 2 goals in the third period by the Avs. And it's just ridiculous that they win by the score of 9. So yeah, so by the way, McKechnie picks up a 71 save, 71st assist, that is. But the Flames just did not try at all. They just gave up. They weren't playing at all. They they basically just said sorry. So, but there are 2 more games left in this series. Let's hope the Flames can get back into it. Okay. Next was the Canucks at the Golden Knights. Now, entering this matchup, Vancouver, even though they're mathematically out, are 21, 43, and 8 and 50 points. Vegas 32, 26, and 16 and 80 points. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Vancouver Canucks by the score of 4-2. Shots on goal, the Knights 20. Knights 34, the Canucks 24. Saves were the Golden Knights 22 and the Canucks 30. Vegas went 0 for 2 on the power play with the Canucks. With Vancouver, 1 for 1 on the power play. Um, After one period, it was 1-0 Vancouver, and then After two, it was 3-2. So the Canucks were down by one. So way to go. So down by one going into the third, and it was just back and forth, and then eventually Vancouver decides to pull the goalie to try to tie it up. Um, Cole Smith gets the empty netter, and so, now I'm not gonna diss on Vancouver. They tried. They tried their best to win this game. Played a full 60 minutes of hockey, I think, and flat out lost to the better team. Even though the Vancouver Canucks are mathematically out, it does not give them a chance to play some decent hockey and try to finish pretty good so they don't really win that first pick. But you never know, folks. So, good game by Vancouver. On a short run, they did try, so I have to give them credit where credit's due. Congratulations to the Knights on winning. And, they're staying in constant, and we'll get to that when we get to the standings, folks. So, all right. The surprise of the night for me, folks. This was a surprise. I couldn't believe this happened. Um, the next game, as you know, is Toronto at Anaheim. Enter this matchup, Toronto was 31, 30, and 13 and 75 points. Anaheim 41, 28, and 4 and 86 points. The Maple Leafs are trying to get into the playoffs. They're still technically they are still by technicality, but they are by technicality, and I'll get to that in a moment. But they're fighting. And at the end of 60 minutes, it was tied 4-4, and this game had to go to overtime. And the Maple Leafs scored the game-winning goal to win by the score of 5-4. Shots on goal were the Leafs 29, the Ducks 32. The Maple Leafs had 28 saves with the Ducks 23. Toronto went 2 for 5 on a power play with Anaheim 1 for 6 on a play. And this was the final game in this series between both teams, and Toronto sweeps the series 2-0, and outscores the Ducks 11-8. And I want to send a message to a guy who I follow once again, Grant Jospeh. Grant, this was a shocker, man. Congratulations. I could not believe how the Maple Leafs pulled it off. Very surprisingly, and I am thrilled. Um, so here are my thoughts on the game. Especially for everyone. If Grant sees this, I I'm telling you, I'm getting shocked. After one period, it was 2-1, and then it was 3-1 after two. Panic mode, and then all of a sudden, Toronto puts on the pressure. I mean, I don't know what happened. Someone lit a fire on them. Three unanswered goals by Nice, Nylander, and Riley, and then Carlson gets the equalizer, make it 4-4. That's when this goes into over. By the way, they scored on a power play. Riley scores a shorthanded goal. So, and then Tavares nets it in, a tip in. Basically, he tips it in. to win it for the Maple Leafs. And this game now, both teams tried. I think both teams tried. The Ducks, they tried hard. They fought back. They won, and that's why this game went to overtime. That's what you do. You fight, fight, and fight, and then eventually you get it, and that's what happened. Um, I'm not disappointed that the Ducks lost. I'm happy that they lost. I'm kind of happy that they played good hockey, and they pick up a point out of this, which is great. They pick up a point. So I'm not disappointed that they lost this game. They fought hard, tried, and Toronto wanted to win more, and that's why they got it. So way to go by both teams. And finally, it's my Blues in San Jose. Entered the matchup, the Blues were 31, 30, and 11 and 73 points. San Jose 33, 31 and 7 and also 33 points. So this is one team will leapfrog another in standings if whoever. And at the end of 60 minutes, the Blues lose by a score of 5-4. Shots on goal, the Sharks 29, the Blues 26. The Sharks had 22 saves with the Blues 24. San Jose went 3 for 4 on the power play with the Blues 2 for 3 on the power play. So the power play went good for the Blues. But despite this loss, the Blues went 2-1-0 and outscored the Sharks 9-8. So way to go for the Blues. What can I say about this game? Despite picking up a loss and staying at 73 points, I think the Blues really tried in this game. I think they played a good game of hockey. Especially, after one period, it was the Blues had only had a one goal, was trailing by one goal. And even after two, tied after the period, both teams scored one goal, but the Blues were still involved by one. And then in that third period, Cam Fowler ties the game on a power play goal. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go, Blues, let's go. Let's do it. We can do it. But Arister got passed over. We will lose. I'm not disappointed the Blues lost. Well, I'm actually disappointed the Blues lost. I thought this game was going to be Blues because we're going for our fifth win in a row, be the biggest win streak of the season. But nothing much you can do. And I was really hoping the Blues win, but they did. But the Blues tried. They fought hard. They played a good 60 minutes of hockey, and they won. I mean, that's the main thing. I think they played good 60 minutes of hockey, and they fought hard, but we're on the losing end. Better luck next game, guys. So let's go for it. As for the Sharks, you guys wanted to win more, and that's why you guys got it. And we beat you guys the last two games, so you guys needed it. So okay, so that's it for the games. Now, what does these games do to the standings? Well, here we go. Now, remember I told you there are some teams that are technically mathematically out of it, and I'll get to that. Starting off with the Atlantic, it's Tampa Bay at 46, 21, and 6, and 89 points. Buffalo's 45, 21, and 8, and also 89 points. Now, these teams, even though they haven't really clinched yet, they're in. I'm saying clinch a playoff spot, so they're technically in. Now, Montreal is in third place in the Atlantic Division at 42, 21, and 10 and 94 points. Now, even though they have 94 points, they're still really not technically in. But I see them probably getting it soon. Boston's the fourth team. They are at 42, 24, and 8 and 92 points. Same thing. They got the 90 points, but they really haven't clinched a spot yet. So they're working their way there. Now, teams that are looking in, Ottawa at 38, 25, and 10 and 86 points. Detroit at 39, 26, and 8 and 86 points. Toronto 32, 30, and 13 and 77 points. In Florida, the defending Cup champions, 35, 35, and 3 and 73 points. Now, those last two teams I named. Now, folks, I look at a stat website and see who's still in. And folks, I hate to say this. Toronto and Florida, they got a greater 99% chance of being not in the playoffs. Folks, when you got that high of a percentage of not making the playoffs, you're technically out. The chances of them, it's 99.9% basically. And Grant, I know you're a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. I just can't believe that despite the win, the the Leafs are technically out. They are mathematically out. The Panthers, even though they're not officially mathematically out, they are out. So, and by the way, games left, Tampa Bay has 9, Buffalo has 8, Montreal has 9, Boston has 8, Ottawa and Detroit both have 9, Toronto has 7 games left, and Florida has 9 games. Now for the Metropolitan Division. Carolina is at first place at 46, 21, and 6 and 98 points. That's in, folks. Clinch a playoff spot. Pittsburgh hasn't technically clinched a playoff spot, even though they're at 90 points, at 37, 21, 16, and 90 points. But I'm gonna see very soon team clinch. I'm gonna see them pretty much clinch that spot soon, playoff spot soon. Next are the Islanders at 41, 40, 42, 30, 42, 28, and 5 and 89 points, followed by Columbus at 38, 24, and 12 and 88 points. Then it's Philadelphia at 37, 24, and 12 and 86 points. And then it's Washington at 37, 28, 9 and 83 points. New Jersey at 38, 33, and 2 and 78 points. And the New York Rangers at 30, 35, 9 and 69 points. Before I give you the Eastern Conference playoff look, New Jersey and the Rangers, well, the Rangers are technically mathematically eliminated. But I'm throwing in New Jersey because I just don't see them making it. So the Devils are out. So we got total 4 teams out and 3 teams in have pretty much clinched a playoff spot in the they clinched the playoff spot. Doesn't mean that they richly got it. They clinched it. Now for the Eastern standings. If the playoffs started today, Tampa Bay is the first seed and they're the best team in the East. And they'll take on the first wild card. They will take on the worst wild card team, wild card 2, and that's currently Columbus. With Buffalo and Montreal taking on each other in round 1. Then it's Metropolitan Division with Carolina at the top seed, the M1, and they'll take on Boston, which is the best wild card, the wild card 1 in Pittsburgh, and the Islanders will take on each other again in round 1. So that's how the Eastern Conference is looking. Let's get to the West. In the West, for the Central, it's Colorado at 49, 14, and 10, and 108 points. pretty much they got the division unlocked, folks. But here's the thing: it's not really a lock yet. They haven't won the division. That magic number is getting lower and lower and lower. That when I checked it, it was like at 4, folks. 4 or 5. Next is Dallas at 44, 18, and 12, and 100 points. They're locked in at a playoff spot. Oh, and by the way, President's Trophy will go to the best team, and I'll get to that after I name all the number ones. Next is Minnesota at 41, 21, and 12, and 94 points. Locked. Now the teams looking in. Utah at 38, 30, and 6, and 82 points. Nashville at 34, 31, and 9, and 77 points. Winnipeg, the defending President's Cup Trophy champions, are 31, 30, and 12, and 74 points. Then it's my Blues, folks, at 31, 31, and 11, and 73 points. And Chicago, 27, 34, and 13, and 67 points. And, folks, the Blackhawks are technically out. You know, they're technically not mathematically out. They're out. I'd say it. They're out of it. Now for the Pacific Division. And there's really no locks for division yet, or even a playoff spot yet in this division, but crazier things have happened. Okay. Oh, and by the way, games left in the Metropolitan Division. Carolina has 9. Pittsburgh has 8. The New York Islanders has 7. Columbus has 8. Philadelphia has 9. Washington has 8. New Jersey has 9. And the New York Rangers has 8. Now for the Central Division. Colorado has 9. Dallas, Minnesota, and Utah all have 8 games left. Sorry, Denver, Dallas, Minnesota, Utah, and Nashville all have 8 games left. Winnipeg has 9. St. Louis, they also have 9. And Chicago has 8 games left. Now let's get into the Pacific Division. And I'll also give you their games left. Anaheim at 41, 25, and 5, 87 points. And they got 8 games left. Edmonton at 37, 28, 9, 83 points with also 8 games left. Vegas at 33, 26, and 16, 82 points and have 7 games left. LA 29, 26, 18, and 76 points. They have 9 games left. Seattle 32, 29, and 11, and 75 points. They have the most games left with 10. Same thing with San Jose, 34, 31, and 7, and 75 points. Also have 10 games left. Calgary at 31, 35, and 8, and 70 points with 8 games left. And Vancouver at 21, 44, and 8 with 50 points, and they got 9 games left. Now, Vancouver is already mathematically out of it. They're totally eliminated. They can't even get. They're bottom seller. They are the worst team in the league. But you gotta put Calgary in this mix too, because the website I go to, they are technically out. And I actually will give you that site. Hold on here, let me give you that site. If you guys want to check this out for yourself, go to that website. It's www.playoffstatus.com. Okay, playoffstatus.com. And you can check out NCAA playoff picture, NBA playoff picture, NHL playoff picture, NCAA. Even though it's still early, Major League Baseball, MLS, still early, European League, and UEFA. But that's still too early to tell. So check it out. It's playoffstatus.com. Is the name of that site. Playoffstatus.com. And now for the stats in the West, who gets what? Oh, and by the way, the number one, all the number ones, which is Tampa, Carolina, Colorado, and Anaheim. Who gets the President's Trophy? Well, that will go to Colorado at this point. And pretty much Colorado has it as a lock, but it's I think it's going to be between Dallas and Colorado. So we'll wait and see what happens as we get closer and closer to the season being over. So we'll probably find out in a few days if Colorado does get the President's Trophy. Um, so here we go. In the West, it's Colorado, and they'll take on Wild Card 2, which is currently now Nashville. Then it's Dallas and Minnesota taking on each other in round one. So Dallas, who is the second C2, and Minnesota, which is C3, they'll take on each other in round one, which is going to be a pretty good matchup. And then it's Anaheim, P1, will take on Utah, which is the best wildcard team, wildcard one. And then it's Edmonton versus the Golden Knights. So that's a pretty good match. Some good matchups. But folks, we still got plenty of games left. And this could change. The next playoff status I'll give you will be coming up. And you know what? Let's actually do that. Let's see about the next. Okay, we got 10 games on the dock today, and then we got 3 Wednesday. I'll give you another playoff outlook on Thursday, folks. That's right. Thursday will be the next playoff outlook as we get ready. Things could change in these next few days, folks. So it's heating up, folks. It's the end of the season. We're in the heartbeat of the season. Oh boy. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the 3 stars of the game. Now, folks, there was some uh, changes. Now, by the way, folks, I'll be right back because I'm going to write down my 3 stars, why I think deserves it, and then I'll give you the 3 stars of the game. Okay. All right, here we go. Starting off with Pittsburgh at the Islanders. First star tonight went to Anthony Mantha, 2 goals, 1 assist for Pittsburgh. Next was Justin Brazeau. Oh, by the way, Mantha was right winger number 39. Justin Barraza, right winger number 16 of the Pittsburgh Penguins, of no goals, 3 assists. And Richard Rackle, right winger number 67, 2 goals, no assists. And folks, I think he should have got Rackle should have got 2nd star. Barraza, 3rd star. For Calgary and Colorado, Nazem Kadri, center number 91 for Colorado, 2 goals, no assist. Parker Kelly, center number 17, 1 goal, 2 assists. And Jack Dory, center number 18, 2 goals, 1 assist. But folks, I think 1st star should have went to Scott Wedgwood, goalie number 44 for Colorado, a 2.00 goal against average and a .931 save percentage for him tonight. And then Godari, 2nd star, and Parker Kelly, 3rd star. For Vegas and Golden Knights, it was Riley Smith, right winger number 19, Shea Theodore, defense number 27, and Rasmus Anderson, defense number 4. All 3, 1 goal, no assist for the Vegas Golden Knights. All 3 Vegas Golden Knights. For Toronto and Anaheim, Lyral Carlson, center number 91 for the Anaheim Ducks, 2 goals, no assist. William Nylander, right winger number 88 for the Toronto Maple Leafs, 1 goal, 3 assists. And Jonathan Tavares, center number 91 for the Maple Leafs, 2 goals, 1 assist. But guess what, folks? I disagree. Jonathan Tavares should have got 1st star. Nylander, 2nd star. But Morgan Rielly should have got that 3rd star. Toronto number 44 defenseman, 1 goal, 1 assist. By the way, do you agree with the 3 stars of the game? Or do you agree with what I say? Who I think should have got the 3 stars? Comment below. Really, comment. I want to know. Do you agree who I think should have got the 3 stars of the game? Or do you agree with what the game said who got 3 stars of the game? Comment below. And after the Blues and San Jose game, I'll give you my 3 stars. Okay. Now finally, the Blues at San Jose. It's all Sharks. Macklin Calabrini, center number 71, 2 goals, 1 assist. Adam Govdit, right winger number 81, 1 goal, no assist. And Alexander Weinberg, center number 21, 2 goals, 1 assist. But Weinberg should have got second star. Gillette 80 should have got third star. Definitely Calabrini should have got first star though. Okay, so here we go. Here are my 3 stars of the night. Who gets them? Well, here we go. My third star tonight goes to Jonathan Tavares of Toronto, 2 goal night. Then my second star goes to Macklin Calabrini of San Jose. He got a 2 goal night and assist tonight. But my number 1 star, I had to give it to Scott Wedgwood of Colorado, the goalie for Colorado. 27 saves tonight, and he gets my first star of the night. Comment below, do you agree with me on my 3 stars? Or tell me who you think should have got them. Comment below. Lyric, I'd like to know. Lyric, tell me who you think should have got my 3 stars of the night. And thank you very much for tuning in. I thank you very much. Oh, hold on here. I gotta give you my stats for the night. Hold on here. Be right back. Okay. Tonight I went 1-3-1. Pretty much one of my worst performances during a 5-game night. Can't win them all. No. So, that now puts me at 165, 104, and 35 for the year. But hey, what can you do? Hmm? I'm trying here. I'm not perfect on my picks, so. Alright, so thank you very much for tuning in, folks. Remember, you guys got any questions, please ask them. I will answer you guys' questions. And I'll see you guys later today as we got 10 games on the dock today. So until then, peace.